Hey all, welcome to Parker's Reef. On today's episode, we're going to hit the highway and visit one of my favourite stores in Australia, Aquamarine Aquaristic. Alright guys, thank you for joining me on another episode of Parker's Reef. Now, as touched on in the intro, I am out and about this weekend, and first stop in my destination of Melbourne's best aquarium stores is Aquamarine Aquaristic, because let's face it, the guys there have absolutely endless numbers of drool-worthy corals, and included in that mix is two absolutely jaw-dropping display tanks. So whether you like LPS or whether you like SBS, there's plenty to see at the Aquamarine Aquaristic store in Doncaster in Melbourne. I'm going to take the camera along so you guys can enjoy it, but I'll also take my credit card along because I may pick up a couple of pieces I've been looking for a little while, and I'll show you them in the tank at the end of the video. Let's roll the footage. Alright, here we are at 38 Eyre Street in Doncaster. There's no mistaking the front of the store. We are at Aquamarine Aquaristic, and as the neon sign says, they are open. So let's roll on in and check out these display tanks and coral sail tanks. As soon as you open that front door, you hit the first. This is the original display tank, and I have to say it's probably maybe just had to hand the crown over to the new display tank, but we will start here because you almost walk into it when you enter the store, and it's predominantly become an SBS and Goni display tank, and there is no shortage of color in here at all, and I do love some of the big fish in there as well, just giving this nice gentle movement. Check out that sohole down there with the Achilles. Beautiful fish indeed, but it's hard to go past this little Gonapora garden because all of the high-end named Gonies are in here, and they do look a treat, there's no doubt about it. There's a real nice tranquil flow to them here. I'll get the DSLR out in a second so you can have a look from the top down, and here we go. You can see just how gently they all sway in rhythm. A really nice flow pattern in this tank, and the guys do tell me that Gonies actually like very clean water, which is why they do so well in an SBS tank. You can see they have raised them up a little bit though, probably just to help get that flow under them. I'm not sure if that's just for easy removal or if it's part of the key, but I had seen one of the corals here that I did come to get, and this Sunfire Monty Cap. What a beautiful piece, just the red and green fused together with this beautiful yellow polyp. I will hopefully find one of those for sale in the coral sail tanks, but judging by the size of that piece in the display tank, that's a good sign. There'll probably be a bit more for sale soon, but you can see here how just incredibly well grown this SBS tank has now. It's really filled out, and it's starting to really utilize every single square centimeter or square inch for my American friends of real estate available. In fact, some of these corals are growing on top of each other, into each other, around each other, everything in between. And it has changed. You can see some of the colors here when you get the DSLR from the top down. It has changed a little bit. I noticed they have moved away from T5 on this tank and are now running a bunch of the latest generation radians over the tank. Now, I'm not sure how recently that change was, but the tank's obviously adjusted to it quite well. Check out this, I believe this one's an Amazeballs Goni, and it's hosting a couple of absolutely ridiculous clowns in there. What a luxurious life they live. That just looks a treat, and there's some pretty large colonies of other Gonies around there as well. See that sohole, big Australian stripey in there, yellow tang, Achilles, lovely sailfin. Nice white cheek there, beautiful fish, very, very nice indeed. And have a look at that red Monty Cap in that front right corner there. Just really lay it out very nicely. It's got some red dragon above it doing everything you would want red dragon to do. Just looks nice and fine and bright. There's a few frags cut on this side, but have a look at the colors on this piece here. The contrast of the blue with the ultra bright green polyps, just it looks a treat, you have to admit. It's a nice piece, and it's really only when you get the DSLR out to have a look from the top down that you really can appreciate the colors in this tank, or of course if you're there in person, but it is a little bit difficult to replicate on camera. It is a lot to take in, and it's literally tank one of many, many more tanks to come, so I can't spend too long on the display. If you do want to find out a bit more information on it, I did do a complete overview of this system. You can see here one of the changes I did notice though, the Gen 6 radians above it, but I did do a complete overview of this system from a little while ago, so I'll put a little link up to that video in the top right hand corner now. But the show must go on because, like I said, there is even more to see. And before we get to the newer display tank, let's just have a look at the pieces in this front corner system here, because don't mind the rabbit fish just flaring up the angel in there. There's some gorgeous hammers in here, really nice variety of colors. Check out the stem differences. Look at that solid green one there. They're just toxic green, glowing and burning your eyeballs, and then everything in between, from your yellows to your models to your golds. Check out those mottled yellows. They're just ridiculous, and you can see the color difference from the greens to the golds to the yellows. Very, very nice indeed. I don't think those hammers are for sale, but I could be wrong. You would need to check with the team at AMA. What I do know is for sale, though, is these ridiculously nice rainbow chalice pieces down here, unless maybe they've got another name, but they've got a few different colors in them, so I'm going to call them rainbow chalice, and have a look at those. Some really nice splashes of color through them. Don't mind the cynarias down there, the gold cynaria, the solid pink cynaria that's the size of your head. Gorgeous, gorgeous pieces. I'll just help myself and move that chair out of the way so we can get a better look at them. Ridiculously nice. Any one of these pieces on their own is enough to get your attention, and you're just almost like a kid with a attention deficit disorder, because you just cannot stop your eyeballs looking around here. There's a sea of goni frags up the top there, from your glitters to your reds to your red glitters to your, what do we got, the sunset, or whatever they call the red ones with the yellow tips. Beautiful gonies there. There we go. Tequila and Inferno. You've got some bright, bright pink gonies. You've got some gold torches. You've got some orange gonies, red gonies, pink gonies. All the pieces you could imagine. But heading on over to this system, this is the newer of the two display tanks. And there's been a bit happening in here. We'll get a good look at this in a second. Have a look at the grow out in there. This is a big, big system. And man, it already looks incredible. I cannot wait to see where it gets in another year or two. Look at the Australian stripey, keeping the yellow tangs honest in there. Crazy, crazy stuff. Another big sew hole, some blonde lipstick, sorry, just a lipstick. A couple of blue tangs in there, some Desjardinis, fire gobies. I'm trying to list all the fish, but it's pretty hard not to be distracted by the corals in here. Look at the big clam in the bottom corner there. Crazy, crazy stuff. Let's get in a little bit closer and see if we can identify any of these corals, because man, there's some nice stuff in here. You can see a nice Wilsoni down there, just chilling out on the glass base. Tickled pink Monty, I should say. Some gorgeous hammers in there, and it's very difficult to show you the true color of these hammers. There's like a true yellow stem with a gold hammer. Have a look at this Phoenix Monty with the TNT Anacorpora in there, just contrasting like no tomorrow. I'll get the DSLR on there so you can see the colors of these things. They look absolutely spray painted. They are that bright. That Anacorpora there, the TNT, is just glowing, and that has to be the brightest Phoenix I've ever seen in my life. Ridiculous colors on them. Some really nice LPS, SPS, Lobos, hammers, torches, acros. Look at this table in pink acro on the front here. Very, very nice indeed. Some more nice Monty Danays in there. There's a bit of a mother colony of that rainbow chalice. Looking an absolute treat. Some more chalice, some Favias. Have a look at the lovely Space Invader Pectinia there. Another TNT Anacorpora. That's definitely catching my eye. This Space Invader's convinced me that I need to move mine. I've had mine in the dark for a little bit too long, and it is my showpiece coral, so I'm going to find another spot for it and put it out pride of my tank front and center. Hopefully I can get it looking just as nice as that. I've previously had trouble with it being in too much light and it restricting down a little bit, but that one looks a treat. There's a bit more of that Sunfire Monty there growing, looking gorgeous. So many acros there, so many named ones, so many special pieces that are just difficult to go through in a video that takes less than a week to get through. So, you know, just like I said, if you are in Australia, you really need to get into this store and give yourself at least half a day to enjoy it. Look at the gonies down there. The clowns seem to love hosting those gonies. This big tang's just flaring up at me while I'm filming. The Achilles has come to have a look as well. Look at that nice bright green goni down there. Beautiful pieces, but we are here to have a look at what corals are for sale, so we shall roll on. We're going to start off with this front system here, because if you've ever been in the market for a, I'm going to say master scully, but I'm probably lacking a higher word than that. Have a look at these pieces here. You've got some really nice bleeding apples and things there. Have a look at this couple here at the end. You've got just ridiculous scollies. We'll get a look from the top down. Some nice desh in there as well, but look at the gold on that scolly, off the charts. The third one in there with the gold rim and the purple and the green eye. Then we've got some just ridiculously bright bleeding apples. Look at that big chunky one there, and you thought that was chunky. Have a look at the boy next to it. Beautiful, beautiful pieces. So, and the last one there, not to be outdone, it's just got splashes of yellow and gold through it as well. If you are in the market for a high-end scolly or two, I'm sure the team here can help you out. They are all available. There's some really nice deshi in this system as well. Some beautiful rhodactis. Have a look at some of those in there. Very, very nice. Look at the colors and patterns on those. Nice little bounces on them. Beautiful deshies. You see speckled gold. You see nice big pieces in there as well. And then just down here in the front corner, just chilling out, is a beautiful jawbreaker. One of the nicest jawbreakers I've seen in person. The DSLR footage from the top down really shows just how nice it is, with that bright orange, splashes of greens, even a little bit of a pink rim on it. Stunning, stunning piece. But it is not all about high-end corals at AMA. I know a lot of it is, because it's difficult not to get drawn to those. But if you are looking for some more basic pieces, or maybe pieces just a little bit more friendly on the wallet, the team here can absolutely accommodate you as well. You can see here these pieces on the top here, $50 Australian each. The gigantic Helio back there, sure, he's $550, but that thing's got to be a good foot in diameter, maybe more, maybe a foot and a half. Just massive piece. Huge assortment of blasto there, talking like $10 a polyp for some of them. Very, very cheap. These are Bowerbanky frags down here. How nice are they? $60 to $80 Australian for these Bowerbanky frags. That is so, so cheap. I do not know why Bowerbankies are not more popular in Australia. A very, very nice coral. You can get some big colonies there for very reasonable prices as well, but I'd be hard pressed to go past buying a few different frags and making a nice garden there. Some more pieces in there. You got elegance, bubbles, all the nice colors and options there. Heading up here to what's listed as Monty frags, and there are some Monties in there. We've got some tickled pink Montipora. We've also got some Lepto, I believe, in there. You got some Danaes, you got some red caps. Moving on to some basic hammers here. Look at this, $50 Australian, guys. Have a look at the exchange rates to see what that equates to in your local currency if you're not from Australia. Very, very cheap. And even when we move up into some of the much more extreme hammers, you're not expensive there. That front one's $150. The large ones behind it are $300. Then we've got some beautiful Rainbow Galaxia frags here, which $35 a piece. You've got to give them a bit of space. It is an angry coral, but it's a very, very nice piece. The hammers in the system down below here, they do go up a little bit in price, but nothing extreme. Look at this. We've got $100, $60. Some very nice hammers indeed. You've got some reverse stems, some solid blotchies. We've got toxic greens. Look at them all just jiggling in the flow there. You go up to $150 a piece there in the middle. Back from down to $60 to $100 a piece there. Very, very nice. You got some large golds there for $250 to $350. Then we got some gonies, and I think that was some acans or blastos up the back. So still very, very affordable pieces. Rolling on over to the next tank, which looks to be predominantly torch. $20 a head on these torch. Yes, they're basic torch, and if you want to spend a little bit more, go to $40 a head for these lovely green torches there. Go to the super bright greens for $60 a head, or things escalate a little bit when you get to the gold at $180 a head, but still quite reasonable in the price. The Forest Fire Nems here, at first I thought they were a little bit overpriced, but have a look at the size of them. $100 a piece for those guys. They're massive. They're the size of a bowling ball. Very, very well priced indeed. In fact, I've never seen forest fires get that big. They normally only get to about the size of a fist and then split off. So they're doing something cool there, but we've got to come to this central bay of tanks here, because this is where the SPS colonies, the mother colonies, grow out. This is where probably 90% of the frags from Aquamarine Aquaristic come from. They grow them in these big tiles in here. They cut them off. You can cut to order, or you can wait till they have some cuts. So you can see a number of the growth patterns here are sort of stunted, where they've been trimmed and popped on new tiles. But one thing I want you to take in is the color and variation of just the number of acros in here. You can see the prices range from $45 up to pay on request. Have a look at the PC Rainbow there, just gorgeous colors through it. Greens, yellows, pinks, reds. no shortage of other named pieces in here. In fact, there's another system. We'll have a look at that one now. See if we can have a look from the top down, because the flow is off, so we can have a look and have a look in here. Just same price again. The pieces do vary depending on what they are, but you can find all the prices listed on their website, which I'll make sure the link is included. But we've got blue stags, we've got green slimers, we've got Walt Disneys. You can see there, in fact, there's a number of Walt Disneys in this system here. You've got Fox Flames, you've got Tenuous, you've got Bubblegum Digi. There's the Bubblegum Digi. There's a big Walt Disney in front of him. We've got Pikachus, we've got Pinkachus, we've got Zappos, you've got Stylos, you've got Spaths, you've got Milioporas, you've got all sorts in here. Look at the color up there. That's just, oh man, that's a nice system. I mean, if you're wanting to buy SPS and then you walk into a shop and you're greeted with that, it's very difficult to keep your wallet in your pocket. Have a look at that. Who does not want all of that growth and color in their tank if you're a SPS head at all? I just noticed this little holder for the coral feeder or detritus blower. Clever little idea. I'm assuming the guys sell those. It looks to be the Red Sea Star brand. Nice indeed. Let's just head over to the other side of these two tanks. Even though we sort of looked from the top, you get a better look from the pieces that are on this side. Do like quite these, and what I'm assuming are these green slimers. We've got some blueberries there, petrol slicks, some smooth skins, some fireworks. I cannot keep up. There's too many corals to need a name, but just enjoy the colors and growth there for a second. I must admit, I might have to add Fox Flame to my shopping list. A few times when I've gone past that, I really enjoy the colors and growth of that. So might be one I add to the list for next time. I can say I did not purchase one of those this time. There is another coral that we'll get to in a little bit that I did not purchase this time, but I don't know, I've kind of been kicking myself ever since. Check out that tickled pink Monty, that was a mother colony that's just fused itself to the base of the tank. Not a bad substrate if you ask me. There's a pretty nice bower banky hiding down there in the corner. That's a true golden red, which is, what a nice piece. But yeah, this is the other side of the second SPS grow-out system, all sitting on those big house tiles. Big colonies they can just lift up and trim out. And there's a few frags down here that are already been cut, where they're just waiting to heal up before they're ready to go to their new homes. But that's the SPS colony systems. Let's have a look at these pieces here. These pieces can all be found at Aquamarine Aquaristic.com.au, and it's a great website. I'll put it on screen now so you can have a look. The team have done really well getting all of their corals up on there. You can simply go to livestock, pick the type of coral you're looking for. They've got great pictures of each piece here. You can see the prices, you can see the types of pieces. You can even get to what you see is what you get. You see some of these pieces here with the numbered tags on them. So that is specifically the acro. So that number 283 is in store with the tag 283 on it. So when you buy that coral, that is the coral you get. And it's a great way to do it. There's no sort of picking a type of coral and getting a pretty ugly cut of it. You can specifically pick the coral you want. So it's a great way of going about it. We'll check those frags out in a minute. Have a look at the Zoas and Pally grow-out system here. There's some big pieces in there that I've actually been told have gone in there because there's a copper band butterfly in there that cleans pests up like no tomorrow. If you turn your eyes away from the tank for a second or just blink, he cleans them up. But have a look at all these SPS frags in here. I did manage to pick a few of these up for my system just because they were all very cheap. Talking ridiculously low prices. I've just missed the prices on screen here. I've gone a little bit high, but we're talking like as low as $20 a piece. Scrolling up, obviously things like the Space Invader there go for a little bit more than that. There's some $35 pieces there. Very cheap. And yeah, there are cheaper pieces than that in there. I have spotted some TNT Anacoporas there, but also check out this gorgeous tube worm in there. Speckled red with gold dots. Gorgeous piece. But wow, lovely corals. Anyway, let's get back to it. There's some nice red dragons in there. You can see the numbered pieces. We'll get over to those on the other side. We'll just kick about the tank. We've got some Zoas over there. These pieces can also be found on their website as well. Number of the fireworks clove polyps there. I remember when those things were ridiculously expensive. Thankfully now they're quite cheap, and what a gorgeous coral to add a splash of color to your tank, particularly beginner-friendly corals like that. Very cool to see. Now these pieces here, these are getting uploaded to the website next week, which will be about the time this video goes live, I'm guessing. Have a look at the way they've got them positioned there, each with the tags on there. So it is a true what you see is what you get. You can pick the number of the coral. You can see the price of it on their website. You can then go in store or get that piece posted out to you. And there's some nice pieces in there. Great assortment of corals, from fairy-like monties to green goblins to red dragons to chalice to unnamed acros. I can see Pikachus there. I can see all sorts. Some very, very bright pieces indeed. And there's even more of the named pieces here. Sorry, of the labeled pieces, I should say, with their ID tag on them, so you can do the what you see, what you get. And when you have a look on their website, you'll see these pieces are not expensive at all. There are some nice, there's one of those Rhodactis chilling out over there. That's another piece that I didn't ask the price on those, but I might just have to reach out to Jono after this video and see what they're worth, because I wouldn't mind chucking one of those in my soft coral tank. It looks quite good. Speaking of a soft coral tank, have a look at this candy apple bubble tip anemone. That's some beautiful color on those BTAs there for $300 a piece. Normally when I see candy apples, they're much, much more expensive, particularly of a grade that high. Beautiful Lobo there. We've got some Duncans. Speaking of Lobos, check out that speckled one there. Very, very nice. Lovely bubble corals there. Very bright indeed. Looking nice and healthy. I do have a little bit of a soft spot for some bubble corals. Got some great frog spawns here, from your standard sort of reverses to solid greens. Very, very cool indeed. We've got some more torch there. You've got greens, you've got green centers, you've got golds. Some nice Cynarias in here. There's one that Jono is particularly fond of, with that one, the second from the back on the left. It's got a little bit of a rainbow color through it. I'm more intrigued by this chalicey type arrangement over there, but that's the beauty of this hobby, it is each to their own. Some nice fungias there, some beautiful goni frags. Not that the team is short of those in this store at all. Now, check out this section here, because if someone told me about the prices of these deshies, I don't think I'd believe them. 700, 600, 450, 450, 600, going up there. They're quite cheap, but it just gets better and better as we scroll to the right. Have a look at these blues and reds. These are still very affordable deshies, but these two solidy red ones absolutely calling out to me. What gorgeous pieces. That one there in particular, the smaller one. I noticed this Tang here is doing his best to guard one of them, but he cannot stop the camera from getting the beauty for those corals. Look at those, $600 for those first two red ones, $650 for the third, which is a very nice piece indeed. Then you get $766. Gorgeous, gorgeous deshi. Looking very healthy, happy. Check out the one that's feeding there. Might have to break out the DSLR to get some top-down footage of these, because, man, they're nice. That first one there on the right, it's got the skirt hanging all the way down, much like those first two red ones there. It's hard to beat, but let's have a look from the top down. I'll see if I can get a just bit of a different view on them. The colors, probably the blue doesn't show up the best on DSLR from the top down, but the red really does kind of show through and give that nice splash of color. Have a look at that one that's feeding, and you can see the pink, the yellow, the red, the blue, doing a very nice effort of making me buy it. This second red one here, this one on screen now is the one that I'm super tempted by, and then you got the one in front of it there, which, to be honest, doesn't look that much different. They're both absolutely showpiece corals, but I am currently out of work, so probably not the time to be buying high-end desh, despite how cheap they are. We've got another bank here of tanks. These corals are all online. There are some of those beautiful speckled Lobos there. You've got the orange speckles, you've got the yellow speckles. Quite like those green with the yellow speckles, nice indeed. We've got some lovely big Banatapora chunks there. That one's very, very nice indeed. Quite a few elegants there, good assortment of different colors and sizes. Got a big heliofungi there, some great leathers there with polyps out. I know a lot of people are looking for leathers and soft corals at the moment, so you've got a good assortment there. Got some more Bower Banky frags here. Have a look at these from the top down. Beautiful colors. You've got a nice Favia there, some Blastos, some Chalice, including a nice piece of rainbow chalice there as the fish make a little wave for us to look through. Good assortment of Duncan frags there. You can get sort of single heads or a little colony. Cynarias, elegants, Lobos, Symphilias. Got a nice big clam, some nice hammers there too. These ones are sold, they're being held for a customer, but I'm sure the team can help you out with some more just like those ones if you are inclined. And then speaking of deals, have a look at this, Acro Special, $15 each or 10 for 100. Holy moly, it does not get much cheaper than that. And I wouldn't say these guys are brownouts at all. They might not be burning your eyeballs like some of the other acros in this store, but some very, very nice acros, particularly for that price. Particularly for those of you out there that just want to dip your toe in the world of SPS, it could be a good tank to make a beeline to. There's also no shortage of Monty in here, and have a look at the varieties of green Monties there are in here. Very, very nice indeed. You get some Gold Rush in there, some more of the tickled pinks, some rainbows, some red caps, all sorts. They're all the tickled pinks that I grow on the base of my tank just around my hammer garden. It's a really nice piece. I've got to say the polyps are very, very bright indeed. And I do love the grow out of those. You can see multiple tiles stacked on top of the big house tile, and it's just encrusted over the entire lot of them. Just doing what Monty does. But there's some more encrusting corals over here. You got, I think, some Samacoras there, some more Monties. Look at that chili pepper Monty. Looks like some Pavona there. I've also got some Samacora, a nice big chunk of gold Samacora up there. Got some Gold Rush. There's a couple of these Sunfire Monty caps that I'm super intrigued by. I might have to open up the wallet for one of those, I think, because they're not frags. They're pretty solid little colonies. And here are some of these SPS that are just being brought in and they've got a color up yet. So those ones are not for sale, but it's not just about corals here. The team do have some fish. We're going to start off with the smallest of the tanks here. There's some nice clowns in here. You can see very cheap prices, $30 for your basic Occy or $150 for designer. You can pick up all of your salt and RO requirements in store, as well as picking up some rock and sand and substrate for all of your aquascaping needs. Team have plenty of Hanna instruments on stock, including reagents. You can see a good assortment there of Coral Essential supplements. Dr. Tim's, you got Fauna Marine products, including their 0.04 phosphate media. Aquaforest range with all of their additives, medias. Got Red Sea test kits down there. We've got some Marine Pure blocks. Everything you can need to keep your tank moving along. We've also got some of Aquamarine Aquaristic's own brand of CO2 scrubbing media, which I do exclusively run on my tank. It's very, very affordable stuff and it has a very dramatic color change. But I did promise you some more fish, so let's keep on moving. Ironically, we'll start off with a BTA tank, although I can see a blenny in there. There's some more clowns and gobies in this system and a nice big coral banded shrimp. We've got some wrasse in this system. You can see, yeah, a couple of wrasse in there, keeping the Lobos company. Got some domino damsels in there and some yellow line. Oh, forget the yellow line. Have a look at this Fu Manchu. What a cool looking unit he is, just defying gravity, chilling on the side there. Got some beautiful, we've got some of those red scooter blennies in here. Beautiful. I have not seen those for a while. There's some very, very nice ones of those. Have a look at the color on those guys. Beautiful little fish. You got to make sure you got a lot of copepods in your system, much like a mandarin, but what a gorgeous fish they are. Heading on over, they've got a nice assortment of fire gobies there. We've got some banana wrasse and ooh, check these out, some engineer gobies. Not a fish you see every day. Pretty cool looking little units just wriggling away. Not expensive either at $25 a fish. I'm gonna have to read up a little bit more about those because they're pretty cool looking little dudes. And that does conclude all of the livestock. I will just give a quick pan around these couple of display tanks one more time because I could spend a day on videoing these and still miss probably 50% of the coral in there, but there's just no end to it. I have to give a huge shout out to Jacob who built that scape in there. What an absolutely ridiculous approach and even better outcome. I saw when he was building that scape and I just thought it was so ambitious, and now to see it come to fruition with corals littered all the way over it, I've got to give the man props. What a fantastic job, and a big shout out to Jono and the team for keeping the store running just as well as they do, because everything in here looks perfectly Mickey Mouse. Alright guys, there you have it. That is the tour of Aquamarine Aquaristic. Now, of course, you can jump on their website, which I've got the details down here, to check out all of their what you see is what you get corals, as well as some of their dry goods. But if you are remotely in the area, translation, if you live in Australia, you just have to get to this store because you could easily spend a day there just walking around, bringing your mop bucket along with you because you're going to drool everywhere you go. Now, as promised, I did pick up a couple of corals. There was two in particular that I was very, very keen to get my hands on, and I was super happy to see that they had both of them available there. First and foremost was my Sunfire Monty cap. Now, I must admit, it's the yellow polyps of this Monty that draws me to it. You did notice probably in the footage of the store tour, I was drawn to it a couple of times, and I got myself I was looking for a frag, and I got myself a mini colony, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I'll show you that in the tank now. And just to contrast that a little bit, I did pick up some TNT Anacorpora, which looks beautiful as well. I hope I can get the same sort of red out of it as the team did at Aquamarine Aquaristic, because combined with the red of the TNT right next to that gold Phoenix Montiporas, and they just absolutely blew my mind. Now, I did pick up a few other frags while I was there because they had some just ridiculously nice unnamed SPS frags at very, very good prices. So I picked up a few of those as well, and I'll splash those on screen for you now so you can see how they look. And I'll give you an update on those corals in the tank in the weeks to come. Now, I will wrap the video up there, guys. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you're yet to join the subscriber numbers, please consider doing so. We've just gone past 22,500 subscribers, which is just ridiculously mind-blowing. But if you'd like to add to that number, please do in the bottom section down there. It takes 2 seconds of your time, it costs no money whatsoever. Other than that, guys, I will leave you to it. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, stay safe, keep reefing. Cheers, bye.